What's up, guys? This is Connery from Out of Work Outdoors, or abbreviated OOW, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Curado I. And I've been fishing this one for about 3 months now, and I've gotten some good things to say about it. For the most part, it is pretty good, but there's also some bad things as well. We'll get into that in a little bit. So first of all, for the ones that don't know, this is the latest edition of the Curado I. It's Shimano's best-selling reel, at least from what I can tell. They were hyping it up a lot last year, and that's because I think it looks maybe because it looks just like this one. This is the Chronarch CI4 Plus, but this one's priced really high. You're looking 260, 270. Yeah, and this is a 150 size, okay? But as soon as the hype on this one kind of died down, this one was released. And instantly, okay, this is kind of my review, my point of view on it. Instantly, I like this one. Even before I even bought it, I already liked it because it looks just like this one. Shape ergonomics, that's what I'm going. That's the point of view I'm coming from. The ergonomics on this one carries right over to this one. Granted, this is a right-hand retrieve reel and this is a left-hand retrieve reel, but same difference. So even before I bought it, I really already liked the specs on it, and from a feel point of view, I already had a really good feel because I fished this one. All right, so when they said there was going to be a 200 size, I was kind of thrilled. I was like, all right, because I know that when I put 55-pound braid Daiwa on this one and I make a frog cast, I'm almost half the spool unwinds. So with a 200, I was like, man, that's going to be a perfect size. So as soon as it came out, I've been eyeing it for a while. Finally saved up a little bit of extra money to come and get one. I actually got one. Got off a Tackle Warehouse. This is the 5.5 gear ratio. If my camera can just focus in on that. And there it is. 5.5 gear ratio. Bought it for crankbaits and big baits, big spinner baits, slow rolling, you know, your Huddlestons, things like that, your small Huddlestons, your 6-inch Huddlestons. And yeah, I've been pretty impressed with it. The ergos is really good. It palms really small for a 200 size, okay? It's really small. In terms of size, if you guys do have the other Chronarch, it is nearly identical to it. It's actually a little shorter because it's not as pointed up in the front as a Chronarch is, but it's a lot wider. If you look at the spool is wider, and that's where it makes up for the size. Right there. See that? The one on the right is a little taller or wider. Well, depending on your angle. It's a little wider than the one I bought, so it's a 150 and 200. If you look at them this way, and nearly identical. Okay, so that's the Curado, and I mean, this is Chronarch, that's Curado. Okay, so the Curado holds a lot of line. What kind of lines have I fished on it? I've thrown this on 10-pound Sunline Sniper. I've thrown it on P-Line 10-pound 100% fluorocarbon. I've thrown it on Power Pro Braid 30-pound. Currently, I have the P-Line 10-pound on it. It's just one of those lines which I think has a really good balance of everything. Price for the amount of yards you get. So that's why I'm fishing that right now. And yeah, it looks good. It looks just like the Chronarch. Ergonomics is there, and that's one big thing about me that I like. For any reel, if I can get away with good ergonomics for a fair price, then I really do like it. The downsides is this is an 84mm handle, which in my opinion, I do like the 90s, and I've been saying that all this whole time. I like 90mm handles, but since this is a 5-to-1, then I don't really feel like I need the extra power on this gear. So I don't mind. An 85 or 84mm handle on a 5.5 gear ratio is fine for me, but if it was a 6 or a 7 gear ratio, I'd like that 90mm, and that's just kind of my feeling on this one. This is a 6.2, and I would like the 90 on this one, but I don't know why manufacturers don't do that. When you go up in gear ratios, they should give you a bigger handle. That's just, you know, my opinion on it. But differences and new features on this reel compared to the older Curados. One color change. It has a new color, and I like this new color. The green thing, I don't know what the deal is up with that. It's almost like a little cult following. People started getting used to everything getting painted green, and I know some of the fanboys, they didn't like it when they did change colors, but color is color, and it doesn't really matter too much. And this is a $170 reel, so you're not going to expect Shimano to keep the same color going all the time, because they do need something new to show to newcomers. And honestly, I don't like green. I don't like the green wheels, but I do like this color. It's kind of a two-tone. It's got a, it's almost like a battleship gray color, and on the body and on the top piece it's more like just a regular gray. But they did get away from all the cool paint jobs. Paint jobs are pretty cool, but you don't get the cool sparkle in the paint anymore. It's just a really high gloss finish, and there's a little sparkle in here, and that's all you get from the paint job. Vice versa, the other one, the Chronarch, really cool paint job on that. And they've gotten away with a lot of the accents and things that makes a reel look high end. The only thing that looks high end about this reel is the design itself. After that, it's just a regular paint job, and everything else looks kind of really basic. So besides from the paint job, the reel I really like just because of its ergonomics, and ergonomics continues down to the star drag washer. Very nice positive clicks. A lot of reels I've had and owned, they don't have really positive clicks, and like you can actually feel the difference every click. It gets tighter and tighter and tighter. You can feel it, which is really good. You go 2-3 clicks, you can feel a drastic change. Some reels don't do that, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just the gearing inside is not spaced out far enough or something, or the what do you call it, the pitch is not coarse enough or something. But I do like that. I do like that feeling of just having to go maybe 3 clicks, and that's usually enough, or 3 clicks back, and it's usually enough when you're fighting a fish. The other thing about the ergos is the knob. The knobs are really good. I really like these. Because I don't like any flat knobs, and then when you give me round knobs and knobs that are kind of, you know, maybe well thought out, you can say, for an OEM knob, that's a big bonus for me. So you're already getting a lot with this reel. Let's see, to take this apart, all you got to do is there's a switch on the bottom right here. Flip it this way, and it just pops out. You know, flip it close. Well, let me see. Why is it not closing? Flip it open. There we go. Kind of hard to flip it close sometimes, but flip it open just like that. It'll pop right out for you. And this is the SBS system. I really like it. I got nothing bad to say about this. Now, I haven't fished the older generation Curados, but this Curado has been very impressive for me. And I think it's because of this system right here. The reason why I say that is I went fishing one day with this and with a Daiwa T3. And, you know, fishing from shore because it was about 15 to 20 miles per hour, sustained winds. And I was fishing square bill crankbaits from a bank on a large flat that I usually fish on the lake, and I was casting directly into the wind, so you're talking, you know, 15-20 mile per hour winds, and this one was doing really good. I mean, the Daiwa for some reason was giving me a lot more backlashes than this one, and it is, I mean, I've pretty much dialed it in with my thumb and with the reel, and this one was giving me maybe half the backlashes that the Daiwa was, and the Daiwa, I just put it down after a while. So, like I said, this is for me, at least for me, from that experience, very, very good in terms of performance from the anti-backlash performance of it. And for those that don't know, this is the Shimano braking system, and what it essentially does is, as this thing spins, you have these 4 brakes that you can engage or disengage, and by engaging, all you got to do is let's see if we can do it here. Well, like on this one, all you got to do is there's an on and there's off. If you turn it off, you just flip it that way, and now this red thing it won't move. Turn it on, flip it on side, and now it moves. As this thing spins, these will come up. As it comes up, this little edge right here, as you can see on this side, it's a little dirty, but these little edges right here, as this thing flips up like that, as this spins, this thing will go like this, come up, and as it comes up, this little edge right here will touch this round piece in here, this copper round piece right here, and as it touches, it'll slow down your spool. So that's all. Essentially, that's all it does. And you have the option of going 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of them on, you can do all of them off. But if it's all off, then what's the point of having them? Usually, I like to go 2, and with the setting set to about 1.5 on like a really calm day. But this is set on 3 because I had a pretty windy day yesterday. I was fishing as well. The other thing they gave you was I forgot what the thing was called, the acronym, but they said that the spool is perfectly balanced, or balanced to the next level, you can say. And my opinion on that is, I don't know. I mean, if you're balanced to that point where you're so balanced that anything can throw you off, then what if you had, I don't know, something stuck on your line while you're fishing, right? Or if you had a section of your line pick up more water than the other section, then that would throw the whole thing off. So really, the whole perfectly balanced acronyms from Shimano, it's like, meh. I didn't really notice anything about that. It feels exactly the same as this one, so I couldn't say much about that. And XShip, right? Yep, the other major thing was XShip. What does XShip do, for those that are really asking? Because I have gotten that question before. The only thing I can tell you what XShip does, or what is XShip? XShip is just another bearing, essentially, okay, on the pinion gear, which is right in here. What does it do? Okay, I'll tell you what it does. I wouldn't say what it does, what it feels like. Actually, what it does, what it feels like is, it feels like there's a little less vibration on the handle, and it feels like it gives you slightly more power. And that's really about it. I mean, that is XShip. But does it come in handy? Well, I would say yes, it does. Because if you're out there, well, not on this gear ratio. On this gear ratio, you probably wouldn't matter. But if you're on like the 7s or 6 or 7s or anything higher than that, I think XShip, that's when XShip really comes into play. Is when you're burning stuff around and you do get a little bit of fatigue. I think XShip kind of helps you with that a little bit. But other than that, I mean, when you're fighting the fish, you're cranking on these reels. I don't care if it's a $200 reel or a $65 reel. You're cranking on this, and you're not gonna really feel the difference. I mean, assuming you got the right gear to fight the right type of fish, you're not gonna really notice that you are cranking on this handle so hard and the fish is not coming in. So that's just my opinion on that. But everything else, I mean, it looks really good. It looks good. It performs well when it does. Okay, so I say when it does because I did notice a lot of different things going on with my Curado. At first, when I first took it out on my fishing trip, I had a lot of backlashes, and I couldn't figure out why. Because, you know, when you're setting up baitcaster, you set up the tension knob, and then you set up the drag, the centrifugal drag. And then you basically just kind of forget about it for the whole day, right? And you expect the settings to stay the same and everything. But not with this Curado. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I've had good and bad experience with this one. I might have to send it back, just because I don't know what it is, but every time I cast, it seems like this knob would come loose. Like, it comes loose, like it'll unwind. Like, I don't know what it is or what's causing it, because it's not rubbing on anything, it's not touching anything. But every time I make a cast, it seems like this thing will back out just a little bit. And at first, I thought, you know, my hand was touching it, but then, you know, as you can see, even if I'm doing this, it'll go a little bit, but it tightens. It doesn't loosen. So like I said, I don't know why. Maybe there's something in here that is, or maybe there's like a tolerance issue in the knob or something. I mean, I don't know, but every time I fish, it's almost like every 20 casts I do, I'd have to re-tension this knob. And that's the major thing I saw with this reel. And that's the major problem I saw with this reel. And I don't even know why. Maybe I have too much grease or something in here. It doesn't have enough tension. I mean, I can't tell you what exactly is going on. But at least that's the inside spring, and there's a pin right here for the spool tension. And like I said, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of lube in here. I mean, I'll take some of it out later just to try it again. But I mean, that's what I found. I don't know why. The centrifugal system is fine. SVS is fine. I have no issues with that. But it's just this. I mean, there's no mechanical clicking sound as well. And I think if they did have that, this problem wouldn't be here. But I hope I'm not the only person who has that, because that would kind of be oh, that would suck a lot. But yeah, that's kind of my review on it. I've caught a lot of sand bass and stuff on it, but it's kind of not bass season right now, and I've been kind of lagging in my fishing. I used to fish 3 times a week. Now it's more like once every 2 weeks. So I did have a lot of good experience with this, and in terms of power on the 5.5 gear ratio, it's got enough power to do just about anything you want. You know, if you want to pull things out of brush, or you know, slow roll, big swim bait, big spinner baits. I mean, high drag lures, it'll be fine for that, and I have no doubt. So that's kind of my review for it. I know I didn't splash in any footage of it because I haven't been fishing that often, but I fished enough without a camera to give this reel a good thumbs up. Because of the price, and because of it's introduced into a very competitive market. The market between 150 to 200, I believe that's where most of their manufacturers are going to make the most amount of their money on reel sales. Like you'll probably sell 5 of these before you sell 1 of these, right? I mean, that's just the nature of the fishing world, and especially the economy's kind of shit right now too. So yeah, a lot of people will opt for this one compared to that one. And yeah, the Curado, I think it's going to be a hit for Shimano, if it isn't already. And I haven't, like I said, it feels really good compared to this one. This one feels really light compared to this one, right? But this one, it's got some weird rattles and stuff in it. Where this one, it doesn't. I don't know why. But maybe it's because this one's seen more abuse or more fishing time than this one. But this one feels a lot more solid for sure because of the aluminum pieces. It's an aluminum reel with some graphite pieces on it, but it feels a lot more sturdier. For the guys that really want the metal or the hardcore feel of a reel, then yeah, you're gonna like this one better than the other one. But on the flip side, I don't know what the deal's up with this knob. The other one, I don't see it. This one you set it, you forget it. But this one, it just backs out. So I'm gonna try to fix it. If I can't fix it, I'm gonna ship it back to Shimano. I mean, this reel has barely gotten any scratches on it, and yeah, that's my review for it, guys. If you have this problem as well, let me know, because man, we gotta get Shimano to fix this if it's an issue. But overall, like I said, the big winner to this is it's got most of the things that the higher end Shimanos will have. It's got the design all the way from the high end Shimanos, from the Natanium. I can't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. The Natanium, the Antares, from the Chronarch CI4 down, and now down to the Curado. This design I really like. The ergonomics on these reels are awesome, and that's something that a lot of the other reels cannot even come close to. So big win on the ergos on the Shimano Curado. And 200 size, that's another good that's another really good feature. 200 size. A lot of these other reels in this size are 100s and 150s. On 200, that's a big win. Handle, I think for this specific gear ratio, it's fine. But for the other bigger ratios, I'd like to go to the 90. And the only major problem I see is just this knob. Other than that, this reel is a win. I know it casts pretty well, but it casts just as well as all these other reels. Maybe another 5 feet. I'll give another 5 feet, but it's not a major jump in casting distance. I've seen a lot of videos where they're casting a lot of these lures out so far, and you know, I don't think I could ever really do that. I think those guys actually practice that stuff for a living. So that's kind of my review on it. And there you go, Curado I. Damn it, it's that stupid black background with a stupid red frog again. That means the video is over. But I really do like this video, so I think I might just subscribe, like, and share this video with all my friends. And don't forget to share your daily catches with us on Facebook or on Instagram.